go wrong in rally, you know? It can humble you really quick.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 110, jump maybe.
100 Acre is definitely known for definitely some fast, flowy, high-speed gravel, but also some technical stages. There's some water crossings, there's some big holes, there's big dips with water in them. It can be muddy and slick and slimy, even if it hasn't rained for days. So yeah, they definitely throw a bunch at you.
I am Viv Campbell. My car number is 964. I drive a R4 Mitsubishi Mirage in RC2 class in the ARA, the American Rally Association. Day one of 100 Acre Wood, says it right there. I am excited. I'm also a little nervous after making a total cock up of the car in the Shakedown the other day. There were 3 levels of traction there: slippy, really slippy, and extremely slippy. It all started downhill and then went really downhill. So my test went downhill also.
Viv in the first run went for it, went through a water crossing, lost visibility, and ended up in the trees.
Right minus, half long, repeat 6 right minus, half long.
Viv had been 6 months out of the car, and very aware that he'd been 6 months out of the car. His purpose, his plan was, I just need to get comfortable. I need to get back to feeling confident, and that's exactly what he did. He got all of that because he came out of Kentucky flat out, ready to go, and unfortunately encountered an instance he's not had to deal with before. So we had a learning experience today.
The guys from TRF are outstanding, you know. So it makes me feel good to know that these guys are there for me.
Vivian's car is a remarkably responsive car. It's purpose-built for doing just this. The way it responds and reacts to your inputs so fast, so precisely, it makes it actually very easy to control and very easy to get overconfident because you feel like you are completely in control, but sometimes you can lose sight in how rapidly things happen. Because it is so fast, it's so controllable, you can get to the next corner, get to the next turn, and get to the next tree faster than you knew it, or faster than you expected it, and catch yourself not prepared.
One of the problems I have is I gotta take my rally hat off and put on my guitar player hat and go on tour. It's difficult to go between the two disciplines and give it that full focus. There's 9 cars in RC2 and they're all great cars, great drivers, great teams. I just want to finish, you know, so I'm not going for anything other than to finish and as clean as possible.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 4 plus left, 70. Care. 5 minus right, short, down. And 5 left, braking down into 4 plus left, short. And 3 right. Tightens. And
really good to get stage 1 out of the way because I was, you know, particularly because it starts downhill and then it tightens. And so whatever happens, I don't want to screw it up, you know, on the first quarter mile of the first stage of the weekend. Then we transited to the second stage. We got a big penalty when we stalled out on the start line of stage 2, and Michael hit it with a ratchet. Halfway through that stage, we come flying over a crest, and one of the marshals is in the middle of the road going SOS sign, stop, and I'm like, whoosh, I'm moving the car, and he's just standing there in the middle of the road. And I said, he has a lot more faith in my stopping ability than I do at the moment because the car, I'm like downshifting and the car's like almost, And then he said, yeah, we can't run the stage.
There's a four-wheeler on the stage. They're shoving stage now. Sorry.
And we were actually going really well on that second stage. I mean, we picked up the speed compared to the first stage. So it feels like it was an awfully long day, but we actually didn't do a huge amount of stage miles, you know.
The stage cancellations and transiting, we really only got 2 solid stages. The last stage was all dust, so that kind of was a pain. But you know, Viv hit that the cattle car jump full tilt, and then car landed, soaked it up, no problem. We were able to get through the 5 left over crest without any issues. So, you know, the cattle guard stage, when you've got a proper car, it's just a blast. It's a fun stage. It's fast, and then it goes to the technical parts over there. And there's like 2 or 3 different cattle guards you got to get over, and they're all tricky in their own way. So I love that stage. I'm glad they brought it back. Obviously, the fans seem to like it as well.
Tomorrow, Michael and I are going to do some more review in the morning before we leave. You know, so it's a different kind of thing to what we had today, with big wide roads and sweeping corners and a lot of speed. Different set of stages. There will be some wide stuff, some fast stuff, and there will be some really tight, really rough with a lot of those. I hate those water crossings that are the real, whatever they call them, where you just hit it hard and it's bang and the car feels like it's broken. And I hate doing that to my rally car, but you know, they can take it.
Definitely looking forward to today, and yeah, that first stage out of the gate was great. Had a lot of fun on it, driving pretty well. I mean, when you get a chance to talk to Viv, he'll tell you it was a little loose, but apparently we went through that first 5. It was like, this is not the 5 from yesterday. Woo! But yeah, no, the first stage went well. We were feeling good. Came into this stage feeling good. First part of the stage was going great, and yeah, then the water crossing. So yeah, and here we are.
My goal for the day was just to finish clean. I mean, just to make this, the rest of the rally, just about experience, because we had the penalties from yesterday. So, you know, we weren't chasing anything. The first stage we ran this morning required neatness because there's several gates that you have to go through that are pretty narrow and you can't get wide on the car. It went well, even though parts of that road were very, very loose. Yeah, it was a good day, but I feel bad because twice in a week I've done serious damage to the front of the car.
We had a similar incident. Let's back up a little bit. So we did the testing for Missouri. What, was that Tuesday? Wednesday? I don't know, it's a couple days ago. It had a water crossing similar to this, water crossing with a 2 right after it. At that one, we just got a sheet of water on the windshield. You know, windshield wipers weren't going fast enough, whatever, and I just couldn't see anything. Ended up sliding right into this tree on the exit of the water crossing. So that kind of was annoying, and you know, we thought maybe just because we didn't have the windshield wipers going or anything, but so we came up on this water crossing, and you know, Viv did it just right, slowed down, got on the throttle right as we got into it to lift the nose, and same thing, we had the windshield wipers going full tilt, and still same thing, just a sheet of water right up on the windshield, just couldn't see anything.
The wipers were on this time, I was 100% sure of that, but the water just came up through the engine bay, through the cowl apparently, and it flooded out. It was just impossible to see anything.
There's probably some places around the skid plate or something that water can get up in the engine bay. If it gets forced up in the engine bay like that, it'll just shoot right out the top. Seth Quintero had a similar problem in that GR, just blew the hood open on his Toyota, and yeah, that was knocked the air intake off his car and everything. So water, and I'm sure they've done testing on water crossings. So water crossings can be tricky. We're definitely not the first car to experience that. It was a relatively slow speed incident, but it was hard enough to crack the radiator, and that was the end of that.
So pretty substantial damage.
I think it's all part of developing a car. A car like this should totally be able to handle it. So once we get that sorted, I'm sure it's gonna be great. Because I mean, it was going across that water, no problem, just would have gone right up that tube if we could see where it was. So
it has been a good experience. I wouldn't say it's all for nothing. This rally's so much faster than Overmountain, which was my only other rally in the car. So it taught me a lot about what I need from Michael and the notes. Taking away some positives from this, I just wish I'd had a bit more seat time.
at this point in the development process, it's just seat time with this car. And we were pretty excited about these stages, did a lot of work with the notes. That's the biggest thing, that bummer of not being able to run all these stage miles. I mean, we weren't here to necessarily win anything. We were just literally here to test and practice the car. And yeah, now kind of about halfway through and we're done. I always like 100 Acre Wood. These guys put on a challenging event for sure, and it's been a lot of fun. Car's been great all weekend. TRF is, again, TRF built this car and has done a phenomenal job. Car's been great. Mike McGinnis from the engine management tuning. The guys that are supporting the car have been fantastic, and really can't wait to make some tweaks and get back at it at Olympus. I'm sure people have heard, but they're doing 200 stage miles over 3 days. It's going to be a very intense rally.
So Olympus is where I had a big gadunk rollover crash in 2022. So Olympus to me is like get back on the horse that threw you, you know. I just want to get through it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting back there and exercising that ghost, you know, get that off of my shoulder.
Holy! Yes, he did! Am I wrong, or that almost looks like he might have flown the farthest so far? He did. His front wheel touched down by right in line with the tree with the real tape on it. Yeah. That was a hell of an air.